firing one of these, our current duty ammunition, it's practice ammo, into 16 inches of ballistic gelatin. Behind the ballistic gel, I had this set up, right? So it's kind of roughly. I'm not a contractor, and I'm not very tool. I'm not a tool man or nothing, but I set up basically I don't know, what do you think, 1/2 inch plywood, and then like a 3.5 inch stud bay, and then I have some drywall behind it, right? Kind of like an exterior wall of a house or something. Like I said, I'm not, if you guys have construction backgrounds, don't laugh at me, but this is what I think the exterior walls of my house are made out of. So I set this up behind the ballistic gel, and then behind this I placed a steel target, right? And I shot through the ballistics gel, and where I circled here is, well, actually, that hole is a different round, but where I circled here, there's an indentation in the wood. That's where the duty ammunition that we want to go to. The duty ammunition that we want to go to went through the ballistics gel and actually hit the plywood here and bounced onto the table. So it gave me more than acceptable penetration. FBI guidelines 12 to 18 inches. Gave me more than acceptable penetration, 16 inches of penetration, and then failed to penetrate what would, my simulation of an exterior wall of a house. You'll notice there's a bunch of other holes in this that actually go through the drywall. That's because when I fired our practice ammo through it, it obviously went through the gelatin, the pseudo wall, and then impacted the steel. So anyway, the one on the left is, the video on the left is me shooting the, yeah, that's the duty ammunition. So no ring of steel, right? Also worth noting, that's a 5-inch suppressor. So we're going to talk about suppressors at the very end here. That's a 5-inch suppressor, and it's I don't know if you guys heard it. It doesn't sound like you typically would hear in a Hollywood movie or anything like that. So no ring of steel because the bullet bounced off the plywood here, and I pulled it up off the table. It's actually this bullet right here. All right. And then the one on the right is, all right, so full disclosure here, guys. I wasn't trying to game this demonstration or anything. I wasn't even actually planning on having this this presentation for you guys. I was just curious, and so we filmed it. I had shot the ballistics gel so much that I wasn't able to put them lengthwise anymore because it was just so chewed up. So I stuck 2 of them with, 2 of them sideways, and I wasn't wearing my watch, so I wasn't able to do the math. And I just eyeballed it, and I was like, yeah, 2 of these are about equal to 1 lengthwise. It's not. It's 4 inches shy. So I wasn't trying to game the test or anything. It's only going through 12 inches of ballistic gel on this. It's our practice ammo. But it goes through all 12 inches, goes through the plywood, the drywall, and then slaps the steel with some force. You'll hear it. Still some good kinetic energy on the steel there. That's our current practice ammunition. So I don't want to get into over penetration as far as, I don't want to get into the details of it, but what I don't want to have happen is a deputy take what would otherwise be a good shot to stop a threat, an active threat, and have that round pass through a threat, pass through an exterior wall, and harm someone, a bystander, or someone just in their house. I want the bullet to do the absolute minimum. I want it to do the, how do I phrase this, the right amount of terminal effects. I don't want too much and I don't want too little. Alright, this is an actual photo of me when I was fixing Chief Weigart's rifle.
Which one's you?
the rifle, clearly. Now we've highlighted kind of the deficiencies with our ammunition and the deficiencies with our rifle. It was like, well, how do we fix this, right? And I was looking at a couple options. So option 1 was, well, I'll just buy some duty ammo and we'll make it work, right? The problem was those aforementioned twist rates and barrel lengths. So, for example, this is what's called a 1 in 7 twist, and it's a 10.3 inch barrel. When I say 1 in 7, so as the bullets propel down the barrel, there's lands and grooves, otherwise referred to as rifling, on the inside of the barrel, and that imparts a spin on the bullet, and that in turn gives the bullet gyroscopic stability as it travels through the air, so it travels the same way every time, so we have accuracy. It's like throwing a football, right? If you see like a real nice tight spiral, it's because a good quarterback will throw a nice tight spiral because that spiral is the gyroscopic stability. Now, with the longer the projectile that you have, the faster that spiral has to be. So the more revolutions per inch that you need in order for the bullet to stabilize. You guys with me? Okay. So with older types of duty ammunition, you had a lead jacket, and also with practice ammunition, you have a lead jacket typically, and then a lead core and a copper jacket. All right. So lead is dense and heavy. A lot of the newer duty ammunition that is performing extremely well is solid copper. So one, it's good for the environment, so that's cool. And two, it just performs better because lead does all sorts of unpredictable things versus copper, which is very predictable. So copper, however, is less dense than lead. So in order to make a bullet of the same weight, it has to be longer. They obviously can't increase the diameter because it won't fit down the barrel, right? It won't fit down the tube. So they have to make it longer in order to make it be the same weight. And we need that weight because we need a certain amount of kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy is a product of mass and velocity. All right? So what that means is, long story short, our duty ammunitions the bullets are getting longer. All right? Now, like I said, the longer the bullet, the faster that twist rate needs to be. So we look at this has a one twist every 12 inches. Okay, that is insufficient to stabilize any duty ammunition that we've looked at. All right, these ones, this is a 1 in 9 twist. That's like probably not going to reliably stabilize, but it's on the fence. It might vary rifle to rifle based on some tolerances and fouling of the barrel and whatnot. Now, rifling of 1 in 7 will reliably stabilize just about anything you put down the pipe. So. We had all these different twist rates, and I couldn't find an ammunition that would work for all of them. So that led me to another option. Well, okay, if I want to get new duty ammunition, I need to get new barrels. So I can either continue the process of Frankensteining these things together, right, and buy new barrels, and then I'm not going to install them because I'm not an AR-15 armor, and I don't want that coming back on me if someone's gun fails to work for them. Or, God forbid, somehow the accuracy is affected and there's a bad shot or something like that. I don't want any of that on me legally or on my conscience. So we'd have to send it out to someone. And then the question became, well, what gunsmith is going to stand by their work when we have, you're smiling, right? So what gunsmith is going to stand by their work when we have, we don't have a single consistent product, right? So what I've found in my own experience in the firearms world is if I send a gun off, I say, hey, this thing's broken, man, you got to fix your product. They will look at it and they will find something in that gun that is not made by them, and they'll say, well, no, that breakage happened because you put this other piece in there. And then I'll send the rifle to the people who made that other piece. And I'll say, hey, this thing caused this breakage, you need to take care of me. And then they'll say, well, no, it's caused because of this piece, right? And you end up chasing these manufacturers and gunsmiths around trying to get one of them to stand by their work. So, didn't seem like a good idea to me to just continue the process of Frankensteining these rifles. And on top of that, it doesn't fix, the majority of these issues are stemming from our lower receivers that are being extremely dated, So it didn't fix any of the issues associated with the lower receivers, these parts of the firearm. So, what I came to was, okay, well, we just need to get new rifles. And ideally, I wanted to select a rifle that would future-proof us, right? I didn't want a rifle that in 5 years from now that company's gone out of business and they're not going to be able to take care of us. Because I could certainly find a budget manufacturer and probably get some cheap rifles, but who's to say if they're going to be in business 3, 5, 10 years from now?